And now in this session, I want us to get started and know some of the tools that we are going to be using, and also just get acquainted with some of the basics when it comes to computer security, especially on the cybersecurity space, since as I was telling you, it's quite important. Yeah, computer security has been one of the downfalls of some of the biggest companies. Okay, I think a company like Yahoo, if you remember, Yahoo was like one of the biggest one of the biggest companies back then. I think it even refuses to acquire acquire Google. I think there was something like that. I don't know whether the yeah. You can see Yahoo turned Google search engine down. So Yahoo was one of the biggest boys back then, but one of the major setbacks that happened, it was they received one of the biggest cyber attacks that the world has ever seen. So let us actually just see about it and see what was stolen or what happened. Yahoo, or how do I search it? Cyber attack. Yeah. So Yahoo data breaches. There has been there was there was quite a lot that happened. Even you can see in 2014 there was a data breach. There was a data breach where 500 million user accounts were compromised. It affected more than 500 million. That's half a billion. So you can imagine quite a ton of data was lost on this. So there had been quite a number of attacks. All 3 billion Yahoo accounts were affected. Blah blah blah. You can imagine such such massive attacks. So how to defend on such is now where computer security comes in, or cyber security at large. And these entails making our systems secure. Okay, I know in your theory class you've learned quite a lot, and also in case of anything, you can inform me. Feel free to inform me or raise your hand if I also lose connection. But the good thing is that I'm still recording, so I'll just it will still be available. And so as I was saying, that so many companies have faced cyber attacks. Even I think a company like PlayStation, there was a time cyber attack. There was a time PlayStation. I don't know whether it was PlayStation or EA. They lost billions, or I mean millions of account. You can see PSN. Yeah, it had a data breach in 2011 where 77 million users data account was breached, and they steal 100 terabytes of data. And you can imagine this is just in form of data. They had personal data of 77 million PSN network users. And these now included things like your, let's say, credit card info, very crucial info, your emails. So you can imagine how that data was quite worthy. And now some of this data is goes on to be brokered in some places like the dark web. And the dark web, okay, and how can you access the dark web? The dark web, the way you can access the dark web is by use of some special browsers. some special browsers. You cannot use just like that browser like Edge just like that without maybe some added plugins. So uh, a browser that can help you to access something like that is what you call the Tor browser. The Tor project. You can download Tor and you can be able to access the, what do you call it, the dark web or the deep web. That is where you'll find one of the highest levels of anonymity. Okay, so now when these maybe data breaches happen, they go and they're done what they're sold majorly on the dark web. So many illegal things happen there, so just go there at your own caution. And also it's not necessary you use like Tor browser. If you're using a browser like the one I'm using Brave browser. So with Brave browser, you can be able to actually access Tor. You can be able to connect to a Tor network. So let me actually look for a link, Tor browser uh, links. So the links that are top top deep web links. So let me just top deep web links. So we can look for some links and we access maybe from Brave browser, because I just want to show you in real time. Uh, Dark web. They normally end with .onion. Okay, they don't end with the what we have like surfshark.com, uh, blah 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 .io.ai. So you'll tend to find that most of these they end with .onion. So let's try and look for an onion link. An onion link, 12 onion websites. And the reason why it's an onion is because they are using an onion routing. An onion routing is where we have so many layers of encryption. The way an onion has so many different layers. So for you to get to maybe from a sender to a destination, it would nearly be impossible. I think yes, it can be, but it's quite hard. In short, it's quite hard to track down your activity using these onion websites. So let me see where I can get an onion website. I don't know, onion deep on onion Reddit. I think Reddit has direct onion links. So let us see whether we can find an onion link and be able to just go there right away. Right away, right away. Onions, onions. So you can see how quite difficult. So when you're going to the dark web, you need to know what you're going to do. So you can see exactly. I think I have gotten one. Is this one exactly? Yeah, this is one. Difficult to answer. 5 IT professionals. Blah blah blah. The best search engine. So let's try and open this onion link. We can actually try to open it using now the normal browser. And I just want to copy the first. Just want to copy up to here, up to the .onion, and then I open it up with the normal website. I can open it from a normal tab, and let's see whether it will be able to open. You can see it's blocked. Okay, basically it can't be able to open. I think even if I tried using Edge, Microsoft Edge, let's just try and open it. Onion, it can't reach this page. So for people who have Brave browsers, if you didn't know, you can actually connect to the Tor networks. What you need to do is you just go to the three the three the three like dots or casings or the horizontal lines, and then you say new private window with Tor. You can see we have new tab, new window, new private window. New private window is like an incognito window in Chrome. And then you say, now when you want to access the Tor network or the deep web, you can say new private window with Tor. So it connects now to a Tor network. Right now it's disconnected. You can see up here, it's actually connecting. So Tor is connecting. So it's connecting to like the different relay or Tor nodes all around the world so that it can form a secure onion. You can form a secure onion connectivity. So it connects to different nodes, and you can see Tor has been connected successfully. And you can see up here, I am connected to Tor. And now using Tor, I can now be able to access that link. If this link was leading to a particular website, I can it will actually show us. If maybe the website does not exist, we can look for another onion link. So yeah, you can see actually it takes us to the torch. This is now the torch. So now here we can we can search for illegal stuff. So you can search for illegal stuff. You can see. Okay, this is not educational, but I just wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you how you can maybe access the deep web, where we have like one of the highest levels of encryption. So encryption, you've actually learned quite a lot on encryption, and he's using the onion routing. That is one of the highest levels that we can get. So Torch, I think Torch is like now Google for these deep web or the dark web. Cars. Let's see whether they have illegal cars. I don't know. Bloody cars. What are these? So this is just like a search engine. You can see it's not as pleasing as you would find with Google, but yeah, I don't know why it's not. Yeah, maybe it's not maintained as perfectly. But actually, to actually help you, what I normally use, I mean the dark web for, guys, you remember something that was called Z library, okay? If you remember these zlib, it was taken down by the FBI. If you go to the official website of zlib official, so on zlib you can find any PDF, any book that it was like the biggest collection in the world of all books. Okay, all books. I don't know which is the official website, but the official website was taken down by the FBI. So I don't know. Let's try to download a book, or maybe it was book. Add to my library, EPUB, daily limit reached. So there are so many other copycats of zlib, up to a point you don't know whether you're using the real one. But if you now wanted the real one, I don't know whether it's back, but after it was confiscated by the FBI from the US, what they now had to do is that they migrated to the deep web. They migrated to the deep web, and Yeah, that was just like that's just random to show you how all these works. So when you when you want to be quite when you want to be quite when you want to be quite anonymous online, you can actually use a Tor network, and also in a Tor network you can access these google.com, these website, but they will now be converted to they'll now be converted to the onion places. So let's see whether it does. I don't know. Mm, google.com. So I was looking whether we have the let's try and see whether it will be encrypted. Ah, yo, crosswalks. I am a robot. Am I a robot, guys? I can pass these tests. It's crazy. This is crazy. Oh, I think it's because I'm in the I'm in the dark web or something. I think it's because I'm in the dark web. That's why it's quite difficult to pass. Yeah, I think that could be the reason why. Yes, yes, definitely that's the reason why. Yeah, I think Google they what else can we? Yeah, so you can see even my search query it's converted into an onion. It's converted into an onion with the Brave search. Converted into an onion, and you can see the search query is Wikipedia. So yeah, so if you want to like do all these anonymously, you can be using the Tor network. But the best the tool to use is the Tor. This one has been specifically done for such kind of work. Has been just this is what it does. It's just what it does. So the Tor browser, download the Tor project. So I think there's like a question or something. So does anyone help us the link that you've used, the .onion or blah blah blah. If you're going, you need to put in on full screen credit cards. Oh, okay. Yeah. So guys, yeah, if you want to just research more on that, you can delve deeper into the deep web and see what happens there, but don't go doing illegal stuff there. So I was saying, majorly when there are all those data breaches, that is where that is where all that data majorly is taken. That is majorly where that data is taken. Even this library that I was telling you, the zlib, you will find it on the zlib onion link. You will find it on the dark web. Okay, you will find it on the dark web. Let me show you. You see now this link, if you now want to access the actual zlib, you use the dark web. For those because I know this was something really beloved, and on zlib you can be able to find almost any book that you would ever want. Now this is the official zlib. Actually, let's even do an example. Someone just send a random ebook that they've always wanted to have. Just send a random ebook that you've always wanted to have, and you see, we'll actually find it. We'll actually find it. I know it's not best, but sometimes for education, we we all have to yeah, someone is asking for the link to the Z library onion. So for you to access it, atomic habits, okay? If you want atomic habits, this one you'll actually just find it directly. So let me just log in. You have to create an account. So I think what was my email? Let me just log in. Uh, let's see. So I think my password. I hope my password has not gotten lost on the dark web. Enrique. So just someone send a book, Atomic Habits. So the link is right over there. That's the Z library link. So if you wanted now the like the Atomic Habits, you can just I can just search for it and I'll actually find it. You can see these are some of the books, but Atomic Habits, and you can see you'll find so many versions. If you want it as EPUB, you can see there are different even versions. If you want it as EPUB, PDF, Mobi, so Atomic Habits, uh, here it is, and then when you just click it, it should allow you to download the PDF right over here. So on this catalog, you can find literally almost every book in the world, and you can see it actually downloads on my device. So if you, let's say, needed programming books, let's say, is it using school email? Please don't use your school email. Just use your personal emails and all. So if you wanted to do what, if you, let's say, programming, if you wanted to get these cybersecurity books, computer, so let's look for the best computer security book. If you want to learn about all this, so let's look for a certain book over here. Which one you can choose basically any. Crypto Hacking the Art of Exploitation, second edition. So let's look for such a book. Hacking the Art of Exploitation. Let's go back to the dark web and we can go back and search for it. You can search for it. You can see exactly what you need. Hacking the Art of Exploitation, second edition. So if you ever wanted to just like have these books, you can be getting your books here. Uh, I know it's definitely advisable you support by buying, but sometimes as you're learning to get up there, when you get the money, you'll definitely buy. But as you're learning, I would say personally, I have come far with crack softwares, crack games. It actually gets you more interested in whatever you're doing, and now when you stabilize, you can be able to now officially pay for all these things. But yeah, this is just to show you an example. This website, like the real website for this, it was taken down by the FBI. I don't know whether it was back, but now using such kinds of mediums like the deep web, we can now be able to do that. But majorly on the what do you call it, on the zlib, it's majorly the international books. So you won't find the local PDFs, that it's majorly the big books, but they are in the billions of numbers. So majorly, most of the most famous books or PDFs, you can see I just look for a random book online that I've never even heard of, and we've actually gotten it right there. So if I go to my downloads, you can see I have those PDFs. So Atomic Habits, the one where it said Atomic Habits. Let me open Atomic Habits, and you can see this is Atomic Habits. So if you want to download, you can actually download from there. So it's a very long book. It's actually a nice read for those who want to read that book. Yeah. So basically that's it. Yeah, that's just an overview. Yeah. Yeah, it's totally safe to download. It's totally safe. Are there pesetas there? Kindly look for a friend. Pesetas, all the famous books are there. All the major books are there. So you'll find if it's like a renowned book, you'll actually find it there. Or even tutorial materials, all of them are there. So yeah, so what I think we can look into is some of these tools that we are going to be using, and especially when it comes to cybersecurity, one of the major things that we have is on passwords. You see, even when I went to the dark web, I had to enter my password. So there's so much vulnerability that comes in when it comes to passwords. Okay, when it comes to passwords, and because these ones they now they do define your identity quite a lot. Like they can be used to identify or authenticate and say that you are who you are. But you'll tend to find that most of the companies nowadays they are trying to shy away from such kinds of signings by introducing things like the multi-factor authentication, the keychains, introducing the authenticator apps, verifications, one-time passwords to try and counter the vulnerabilities that come when it means having just a single password. So if it was a time like the 2000s, majorly you are just having a password. Just a password was enough to maybe authenticate you to a very critical system such as your online banking or doing things online with just a password. But now the problem was if we received a computer breach, that was quite difficult. That was quite difficult for you because your password would be on the hackers database, and we already have such databases. And I'll actually show you some of them, or some of the what we call the word lists or the password list, you can name them, where we have millions and millions of passwords. And now using these, hackers can be able to maybe do what the hackers can be able to hack into different systems using a database of these passwords. We'll actually look into that, and um, we'll be simulating such kinds of functionalities. Okay, we'll be simulating such kinds of functionalities, such as maybe how we can crack an MD5 encrypted password, or how we can also create these MD5s encryption passwords. And one of the tools that we are going to be using, it's a tool called hashcat. Okay, hashcat. If you look for hashcat, this is a password recovery tool. Blah blah blah. It's majorly password. It majorly deals with passwords and enhanced security features. So if I go to its website, hashcat, we have other different ones. We have other different tools, especially guys who have done cybersecurity or those who are doing cybersecurity. There are quite a number of tools that you can use to do so many different things. But in this case, a simple one to use, but it's quite advanced. You can see it claims that it's the world's fastest password cracker. Okay, you can crack passwords using hashcat, and this is what we are going to be seeing. Maybe how a weak password can be cracked quite easily. But yeah, this is just like the beginning to just show you how to set it up, to also show you maybe just a brief introduction on it. But we are going, as we continue, we are going to be also using different tools as we check on different features and also some of these algorithms, because you can see that we have quite a number of algorithms: MD4, MD5, SHA. SHA, I don't know whether we have SHA for Kasongo, but yeah, there are so many different algorithms. But let's start by installing the hashcat. So hashcat, for you to just install it, you can just come to the hashcat website, just look for it on Google, and then come to the download. You come to the download, and you can download the binary. It's like a folder you can actually install. So I can download. I'm using IDM, so it's also quite fast in downloading. So I can open the folder to where it has been downloaded. So let me just create another folder that is called computer security, and then I can paste it here. So I have hashcat. You'll download it as a 7-zip. So 7-zip is like another zipping. It's used to zip. The way we have WinRAR, we also have 7-zip. It's a compression. You can use it to compress your document. So in their case, they have used 7Z. But the good thing about 7Z, you can also open it with WinRAR. If you have WinRAR, you can open it with WinRAR too. So what you can do is you can open it with WinRAR, and you can say extract files. I can actually just say extract here, WinRAR extract here, and then it will extract the what do you call it, the hashcat. You can see it's hashcat version 6.26. So this hashcat, it contains some of these different tools that can be used to maybe password crack, do quite a number of things when it comes to hashing of passwords, reading from very big data sets. Yeah. So when we have this tool for the Windows guys, if you want to use hashcat, so let me try it and see command prompt. If I wanted to use hashcat, you can see hashcat is not recognized as an internal or an external command. So what you need to do is you need to add this file to your environment variables. And if you recall us doing compiler construction, or I don't recall which unit it was, where we had to manually set up the environment variables. So when you have environment variables, they allow you to access any commands globally from anywhere on the command prompt. Hashcat. So you can see if I type in hashcat, hashcat is not recognized as an internal or external command or batch file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to CLS. I'm going to CLS, and after doing that, what I'll do is I'll make hashcat available globally to the environment variables. So what I need is this. You see, hashcat is located. I have downloaded hashcat here and then extracted it. So hashcat itself is available here, hashcat.exe. So what I need to do is to set my environment variable to point to this location, so that when I type in any command, it can search for that particular location and it finds the executable, and in this case our executable is hashcat.exe. So what I just need to do is take this location right here. You can see up here, admin downloads computer security hashcat 6.26. I take this what do I call it? I take this path, this whole path, and then if I want to access my environment variables, you can do that by so many means. You can do a spotlight search and say environment variables, edit the system environment variables. You can do that, and it will take you to this tab. Another way you can do that is you can come to this PC and then you right click and then you go to properties. And when you go to properties, this is a multi how do we call it? It's a multi-process. So it will show you the device properties. And if you want to go to the environment variables, you you go to the advanced system settings. So you click on advanced system settings and you see it pops up there. It pops up the same window. It pops up the same window, and here is where you can access the system environment variables. And in short, you just click on the environment variables, and for the environment variables, we now need to add the path that we copied. This path that we copied where our hashcat was installed, I have it on my clipboard. So what I need to do is I can come to the path. I can come to the path, and the path contains some of those different paths. They are quite a lot, and click on edit. Okay, I just click on edit the path. You can see we have the JetBrains Rider, we have the WebStorm, blah blah blah. And then what I need to do is click on new, and then I paste that location, computer security location. So I hope it won't bring any problems because I have a space on computer security, but I don't think it should bring it should be a problem. And then I paste it and then I select OK. So I have added the hashcat location. I have added the hashcat location. And remember, when we say hashcat, you can see it's not recognized. So this is the reason why we are doing this process, so that we can be able to be accessing hashcat CLS. So let me do that. And after doing that, I click on OK, click on OK. And also it's good to just add them to both of them, the user variables for admin and also the system variables, so that if it's something that core that the system wants, it can also do that. So for the system core path variables, I also click on edit, and you can see here is where I can also add a new one. So I'll say new and then paste it and then click on OK. And after doing that, I also click on OK. And also on this, I click on OK. And I don't know whether I have to refresh the command prompt, but let us try and type in hashcat again. So we can say hashcat, hashcat. Hashcat is not recognized as a blah blah blah. So I think I have to restart the command prompt. CMD, and let us see whether that will work. Hashcat, hashcat. Yes, you can see now when I type in hashcat, you can see we have some different things. So it's telling me there needs to be a hash, there needs to be a certain file, there needs to be a dictionary, blah blah blah. So that means that it's actually working. If I want to see help, I can say hashcat help. So let me clear CLS hashcat help. So hashcat help, starting in help mode. So hashcat, okay, help. I can just say help. auto detect hashcat help. So in short, what I'm trying to show you is that it has actually perfectly worked. So now we can be able to use the different hashcat commands. Okay, we can use the different hashcat commands such as help. Starting, you can see its version what? Version 6.26 OpenCL. So after installing hashcat, we can check our device information, and to check our device information, we can say hashcat, and then we do a dash I for information. OpenCL. I think there's something I haven't done. I haven't installed correctly. OpenCL, no such file or directory. So let me show you. Let me go to where I installed it. Where did I install? When did I install it? Computer security, hashcat. Let me access it from here too. Say hashcat help. Yeah, you can see. I think right now it should be it's starting perfectly. So it will display some of the commands, some of the commands. The way I have been able to access it, the way I have been able to access it is another way you can access it if you don't want to do all that process of setting up the environment variables is wherever you download it, you just open it where you've downloaded, and then on the path you just write cmd. It will open CMD to this particular path. But the problem with this is you always have to be doing this anytime you want to access hashcat or whatever you download. It does not necessarily have to be hashcat, but you can see now it has given me the this is, let's see what it has given us. So it gives us so many details, usage options, hash file. So it gives us so many different use cases, or what you call what do you call it? The commands. All these are different commands that you can use with hashcat. Username, remove, attack, something like the attack and the hash type will actually be using quite a lot. The version, if you want to check the version, hex word list, the force, status, blah blah blah, the status JSON. So all these things, I'll actually some of the things we'll be doing info. You can see, like in this case, I used dash I. So you see it shows the backend info, it shows the system environment, backend API info. So it shows us all these things. And you can see it shows you the hash modes for, it will show you the hash modes for hashcat. So in this case, we have MD4. MD4 is index 900. MD5 is index 0. We'll actually be using this quite a lot for MD5, which is index 0. We have SHA-1, which is index 100, SHA-2 to 4. So all these are different algorithms, as you saw. You can see there are quite a lot. I saw even their Telegram. What was the Telegram one called? You see there are so many different types of, encryption. Telegram, you can see Telegram desktop, passcode. Okay, Skype. I don't know whether they are all the different types of algorithms or okay operating system. I think that they have specified on the category here. So you see, we have the categories, we have the raw hash, salted. So I think for the raw hash salted is where after we salt our passwords, will be able to decrypt even the salted passwords. We'll be able to decrypt even uh, the done all those things. Even for the checksum, when you want to verify these encryptions, you can use the checksums. You can see the raw cipher, non-plain text attack. We have quite a lot network protocol. So these are different. Okay, they're not all algorithms. I think this one lists everything. Also for the operating systems, it shows the different operating systems, database servers, FTP. These are now the transfer protocols. This is the EAS's full disk encryption. So it shows you quite a lot, and also all the different commands that you can use. So I think we can just do a very basic, what do you call it? We can just do a very basic um, setup for these for this setup with with hash with hashcat. And for that, it would be, we can try to, even it actually shows you some of the examples. You'll be writing commands such as this. You can see where you provide a hash file, and maybe somewhere where we have a word list. And that is exactly why we started this session by me telling you that there have been so many data breaches in these companies. And when that data, especially let's say maybe passwords or hash passwords or just plain text files, all those words are added to majorly what we call word lists. And now these word lists or maybe password lists, they can be used to hash your passwords and crack into your systems very fast using some of these attack modes. You can see attack modes. The first one you can see, we have like a word list attack, we have a word list and rules, we have brute force. Brute force is now like trying all the combinations possible. And you have the combinator, and you have association. So what you're going to do is, let me first show you an example of what we have when it comes to word lists. There's a very famous word list that is on GitHub. It's normally called the common password list. It's one of the mm, GitHub. Okay, there's the common password list on GitHub. You can see there are quite a lot actually. It's not just this one. It's called RockU. Okay, RockU has quite a number of passwords. Not quite a number. It has literally more than 20 million. Okay, it has literally more than 20 million. So let me see rocku.txt. So where you can actually find it, you can actually even find it on Kaggle. Okay, Kaggle here, common password list. You see rocku.txt. So this rocku.txt, it contains millions. So I think on Kaggle they have specified the number. So rocku.txt, let me zoom in. Rocku.txt contains 14 million, okay, 14.3 million unique passwords used in 32 million accounts. Blah blah blah, Kali Linux. So actually, if you're doing quite a lot on cybersecurity, computer security, all that, Kali Linux should be the perfect operating system for you. It's one of the best when it comes to that field. So you can see it has so many passwords. Okay, so many. If you were to scroll them down like this, I wouldn't even finish scrolling down them today because that's quite a ton of numbers. So if you want to download it, you can download the ROCU. You can download it as a zip, or you can just download it as a text file. If you want to download it as a text file, I think you can download it right over here. Is the raw binary. So it actually even downloads as a zip. So you just download the ROCU. So this ROCU, what we'll actually use now, this ROCU, is when you're using the hashcat, you will be using ROCU as your let's say data set or as your reference when it comes to showing the where you have your passwords collected. So now these are the kinds of data that I was saying that people go and sell to these illegal platforms. Now you can think of this. This is now just like a basic one. You can now think of the ones that crazy, like the one that happened to Yahoo. It had like more than 500 million of user account information. So these are things like your email. So you can imagine someone who has more than 500 million emails, how much that data is worth. So like it's quite a lot, and it's not even just even just what do we call it? Even just emails. Something like Twitch. I think Twitch suffered Twitch code hack. I think Twitch, the entire source code of Twitch was leaked, literally. Twitch source code and blah blah blah, massive leak. Yeah, that also showed the what the some of the streamers were earning. So its source code actually leaked, data breach. So Twitch hack sees source code payout details. You can see even the payout details. Twitch hack. So Twitch also was also hacked, and this was quite crazy because I even remember my friend back in the coach. It was because it literally got leaked, like the Android version. I recall my friend got access to the Android version of Twitch, the source code, and it I think I don't know whether it was the entire thing. Let me see actually whether it's still there because it was on a torrent. Twitch source code, Twitch code. It was more than 100 or 150 GB. 150 GB, the file that he was downloading. So let's see whether Twitch code. I think was pulled down. So I think yeah, but this just shows you that when even when building your systems, you really need to just ensure that your security is just top notch. So in this case, I have downloaded the ROCU the ROCU dataset or the ROCU passwords, and when you extract, you'll find it's a single text file. It's like 136 MB. So just think of this. The text file, it has 14 million passwords, and it's just 136 MB. Now imagine the data that is breached. It is worth terabytes. So it's quite a ton of data. I don't know whether the text notepad will be able to open this text file that has 14 million entries, but you can see it's already struggling. So I think for your case, you don't need to use the raw queue. You can just create your own. You can see already it's not responding because of how massive that is. Yep, crazy. I think I have to close it using task manager, but yeah, I can close it now. Yeah, so what this contains is that it contains all those passwords. So in our case, we will create a simulation where we'll have our own references of different passwords. And then we are going to create MD5, let's say, hashing of some common passwords. And then we see whether we can be able to crack those passwords. And now the tool that we are going to be using is now this hashcat tool that I was actually telling you about. So the first step will now be creating these hashes. And how do we create now these hashes? So to create these hashes, I think I can show you how to create as a very simple way to create these hashes, and you can actually create these hashes using some of the inbuilt Windows commands. They can be able to create some of these hashes. And to do that, you can use quite a number of different tools. You can use even a tool like, what do you call it, PowerShell. You can use something like PowerShell to create these hashes. If you're on Linux, I think Linux supports such kinds of things just right out of the box. That's why it's a really good operating systems when it comes to these kinds of things, cybersecurity and stuff. So what I'll show you is maybe how we can create hashes of different passwords. So let's take, for example, a password like maybe 1234. Okay, a password like 123456780. That is the default password for for Wi-Fi. Most of us just when you're asked to maybe just turn on your hotspot for ease of access, majorly you'll tend to find that the password is 120. And actually, this was happening in Kemadi. This was happening in Kemadi. It was like a standard rule in Kemadi back in the day. Back in the day, like when the internet was not that good in Dedan Kemadi, the that time ed-rom hadn't even been installed. There was no ed-rom, there was no the CUT. So there were very few places that had the LAN network. So what people used to do is you would go to that LAN port, and if you connect your computer to that LAN port, you turn on your you turn on your hotspot. You turn on your hotspot. Okay, just turn on your hotspot, mobile hotspot, so that now when other people come to that room, they can be able to connect to that hotspot. And there was actually a rule. There was actually a rule that it wasn't a rule, but it was like something already set up, something that almost everyone knew, that if you get to that LAN cable and connect your computer, you have to set your mobile hotspot password to be 120. So it has to be 123456780. You have to set that as your password, so that now when people join, even if they don't know you, they see that there's a strong Wi-Fi. It's definitely yours, and the password has to be 120. So that just shows you that these things can be primitive. The same case, I know for a fact they can't miss a 10% in in this in this call. Let me put you out. I know that they can't miss a 10%. We are 68. I am pretty sure 10% of us, there's a statistics that normally is there, that for Kenyans, okay, for Kenyans, uh, when it comes to our M-Pesa pin, okay, when it comes to our M-Pesa pin, there is a high probability that some of us even here, your M-Pesa pin, the M-Pesa pin password is literally your high school registration number or admission number. Okay, that is actually a statistic that is actually there. So yeah, I see people laughing. I know, I know there can be, there can be. So like that just shows you, that just shows you that yeah, that is something you all need to think about, because if someone was to like go to so many people, and if they knew, if your school data breached, and they have like your phone number, or if they really wanted to get to know you, they know that they can get your M-Pesa pin by, let's say, going to your school, maybe researching on some of those admission numbers, and if they find yours majorly, that will be your M-Pesa pin, or maybe your birthday, but that's cliche. Your birthday, all those things, a special year to you, blah blah blah, something. But yeah, so that just shows you that some of these things, you can take them for granted. So yeah, so let's say let's now see how we can be able to create an MD5, or an MD5 hash for such a password like 123456789 0. So how we can do this using just Windows, some of the built-in tools. This is not the most recommended way. You can actually even use online tools. You can actually use even online tools. Uh, Create MD5. MD5. You can just use online tools. You can see MD5 hash generator. So we can actually do that. So let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 wait, 6 6 7 8 8 9 0. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So this will generate an MD5 hash. This is the MD5 hash of that number your string is. And now you'll tend to find that now these hash are the ones that are used to store your passwords. So because you can store a password like on a plain text file, because that will be like the biggest insult you'll be giving to your users, because if that database gets compromised, you just lose everything in plain text file. Okay, like that is something no one can ever do. So you need to always hash your passwords. After hashing, we also have something we call salting. So this is the MD5 hash. Let's actually see. So this is the MD5 hash of 1 2, the common Dekut Wi-Fi password. So as it was, I mean, as it was. So this was the this is the number. So let's try and see whether we can be able to generate that using using our command prompt. So for command prompt, some of the commands we have something like some of the commands that I've been writing, like here maybe dir. It's to list the contents of the directory. If I want to change directory, I know you already know this. You can change directory to name of directory. So you just say cd, then the name of the directory. If you want to go back, cd dash dash. If you want to check things on the network, you can see, you can do something like net start. If you want to do some other networking things, Nash, you can use Nash. So what I'll do is I want to create an MD5 hash for that number that I showed you. So the number was 12120. So what I can do is I can say echo. So echo, when it comes to CMD, echo can be used to even display. It can be used as a print statement, but it can also be used to just do so many other things. Like the same way you would use a scanner to scan for input in Java, you'd use a scanner to read an input stream. You'd use the scanner to do quite a lot. So for echo, if you wanted to say hello world, you can say echo hello world. You can do that, echo hello world. This is like the basic bash program. You can see it outputs hello world. So if I wanted to write this hello world to a text file, I can say something like echo echo hello world, and then if I want to write it in a text file, I use that greater than sign, and then I specify the text file. So I say hello world.txt. It will write the hello world to the text file hello world.txt, and it will go to this location, blah blah blah, computer security hashcat. So I'll just go to this hashcat location and see the hello world. So I'll just press enter, and you can see it hasn't given me any errors. But now when I go to the hashcat, I should see hello world.txt right over here, hello world.txt. And if I open it, you can see it has the words hello world. Okay, if I wanted to overwrite that, I can just do that. And in this text field, I say, hi, I have overwritten hello world to this new text. Uh, Welcome to computer science. So it will override that and write whatever I have written right over here. So when I press enter and go back to the hello world document, you can see, hi, I have overwritten hello world to this new text. Welcome to computer science. So it's simple as that. So now what we are going to do is we are going to write our password to a certain file. So I'll just say echo. What is our password? 123456789 That is our password. We are going to write it to our file, which is called password test.txt. Password test.txt. So it should do a password test.txt. You can see we have a lol and password test.txt, and its content is 120. So 123456789. So then I save. After saving, but it actually saved itself. So because the file was already created. So after doing that, now if I want to generate the MD5 for this password, for this 12340, the reason why I want us to generate the MD5s is because we are going to actually be using them to go back to our passwords, so that we can see what the plain password was. So that if maybe we unhash an MD5, we can be able to see that the password was 12120. So what I'll do is you can use the what you call the certificate utility. So CertUtil. So you can say CertUtil, we want to hash a file. So you say hash file, and then you specify the the name of that file. So the name of that file that we have created is password test, not text, but test.txt. And then you specify the algorithm space. The algorithm that you want to use is MD5. The algorithm you want to use is MD5. So you use the certificate utility, certutil hash file, and then password test, of which it's this file that we created up here, .txt, and then we use MD5. We use the MD5. And then after doing that, we are supposed to receive the hash for the MD5 hash for 120. So if I press enter, it should actually give us if it's correct. Exactly. So you can see MD5 hash of password test.txt is E08 blah 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 blah. You can see CertUtil command completed successfully. So 8 blah blah blah. So let's see. I think we had tried the online one. Awesome, awesome. So you can see we had tried this online one. It was E807 E. So you can see it's E807 F1 FC. Let's confirm everything. F1 FC, F1 FC, and then F8 to D, F8 to D, and then 13 to F, 13 to F, and then 9 BBO, 9 BBO, and then we have 18 CA, 18 CA, 18 CA, 67, 38, 67, 38, 67, 38, then A19F, A19F. It's exactly as expected. So you can see this is how we can now generate the MD5 for different passwords. And the reason why we are doing this is because we are going to be using these MD5 hashes quite a lot. So we are going to be creating our passwords, we hash them to MD5, and then we maybe put them onto a file, and then we'll try to perform some attacks on that file. We see whether we can be able to get the actual passwords from the MD5 hashes. And the reason why we are using it's a question that I once had before I got into computing world. Why it's just E, F, C, F, D? Why don't we have like X? Why don't we have maybe A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Why don't we have G? Can someone tell me why maybe in this MD5 we don't have like a letter G, H, I? Does someone know? Why don't we have like a letter A, B, C, D? I mean, we have A, we have B, we have C, D, E, F, but you don't have G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. We don't have a P. You can never find a P in such things. So the reason is because these numbers they are represented in hexadecimal, and hexadecimal it goes from. So if people have the same, exactly, yeah. So if people have the same password, the hash will always be the same exactly, and that is just shown because we used an online tool. This was actually an online tool that generated this, and you can see we have generated that exact same number using our offline tool. This is totally working offline, and we've actually even created these text files the same. So the hash for this number will always be this. So this gives you that shows you the vulnerability when it comes to this, because now the databases they store your passwords in hash form. So if someone had a perfect thing, and then they had like what do you call it? They had like a database of so many passwords and the hashes, and then they match this hash to that password word list. They will be able to see that that hash contains this actual number, and now they'll be able to know that your password is this actual number. So that is how it works. Yes. So yeah, you're very correct. So if the two people have the same, the hash will always be the same, provided we use the same hashing algorithm. So in this case, we are using the hashing algorithm is MD5, of which you'll tend to find it quite a lot. Uh, but I don't know. I'm not much deep into the cybersecurity world, so I'm pretty sure there are so many algorithms. But I think some of the most secure are the SHA algorithms. Okay, but not the Kasongo's SHA system. So the SHA algorithms, I think they are quite used. The SHA algorithms. So kipata for algorithm ni gani umenaswa, exactly. Yeah, these are now things that we'll now be simulating with some of these tools. So these are the tools we'll be simulating, because even if we tried to look for another, so online MD5 hash, MD5 hash. So even if we look for another tool and try to generate EO hash here, 1 to 0, our string is 1 to 0. So let's do 1 to 0 hash darling hash. So you can see in a hash, and the hash is actually here, and it's E807. So these things always remain the same. E807 blah 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 19F 19F. So yeah, someone akijua the hash that has been done on a particular database, and then they have the hashes, they can be able to get your passwords very very quickly. Yeah. So yeah, so this is how we can generate these hashes. So if you want to use the Windows built-in tools, you can use the CertUtil hash file, and then you specify the hashing algorithms. So yeah, that is what I wanted us to cover for today. I think it's already one. Yeah, it's 3 minutes one. So that is what I wanted us to cover today. So what you'll do is you go and set up such a tool, the hash tool. It's actually this tool. You've seen that it has quite a ton of functionalities that we'll actually be using. We'll actually be simulating some of these attacks, and also seeing the time that it takes to maybe crack a password from a hash, and vice versa. So just install the hashcat. Just install the hashcat. It's not actually installing. It's just like taking the files and then extracting them to your device, and then you set up the. And then you set up the what? You set up the, yeah, not same. So you're saying what? Hash file, not same. What are you saying, Brian? What do you mean by not same? Or you copied the. You're saying the hash is not same. The hash it should be same. Hash file of password, it's not same as yours. Let's see. Oh wait. Oh you tried. Oh you tried to create the text file. So you try to create the text file on your CMD, right? Oh, I know where that problem is. When the problem is when you're creating this file, CertUtil, where did you create the file? When you're creating echo 123 passwords test.txt, when you're creating this file right over here, there's something that echo does. Echo, it adds a new line feed on the last number. So you see this 0, it has added a new line, and I can demonstrate that to you right away. It's because it. So what you need to do is open this password tests.txt, and then delete that line that has been added, because even a new line is a special character. So it adds a special character. So just delete that line. So I'll actually, let me show you what I mean by that. If I also did this, so if I also did this echo password test.txt, if I copied that command and also pasted it here, echo password test.txt, you'll see that it will create a new line on this password. So if I open this password test, it has a new line. Okay, you see, it has a new line down here. So this is the line feed I'm talking about. I don't know whether I can zoom. It has a new line. So always have that in mind. That is why we'll actually be using some other methods we can also use to create these MD5s. So Brian, what you need to do is ensure you delete that line. If you delete that line, it should be the same as mine. But let us actually work with yours so that we can get the same hash as you did. So I'll save this. I'll actually save this. I'll actually use that, and then I'll perform that hash on that text file again. you'll see that that hash will be the same as Brian's. So I'll do echo CertUtil hash MD5. So you can see the hash now is 52. You can see that single line character. So the line character is normally the \n, the \n. You can see it totally gives us a different, a different hash. Okay, and I'm sure this hash is exactly the same as Brian's MD5. Okay, what is the hash file? MD5 password, blah blah blah. Okay, I don't know why, or why it's not password test. What number did you use? 90. But just try, and maybe we created it on a different thing. Just try and delete that new line that was created. So this just shows you that if even if there's a very slight uh, character change, the hash will always be different. The hash will always be different. And the reason why I told you it's the FDCCC, it's because this hash is represented in hexadecimal. If you wanted if you wanted maybe it in binary, you can convert this hexadecimal into binary. So yeah, that was the problem. Niulize unaweza kutufunza hii unit while using Windows. That's why I was always recommending Linux. Okay, Linux is best for this work. The reason why I'm using Windows is because most of us are on Windows. I'm pretty sure most of us are on Windows. So yeah, for Linux, there are inbuilt tools to do this. There are literally inbuilt tools to this. So yeah, that is it. That is it. I think we'll continue from them. But for something like Hashcat, it's also available for Linux, so you can use it on Linux. Mm. So yeah, that is it. That is it for the session today. Just set up. We'll continue building up on this, and also for the card, I think we talked with the lecturer and also the class rep. We'll have it next week a time like now. We'll have it next week for the session. We'll have the card next week, Wednesday a time like when you have the lab. That's when we'll have the card. So that is regarding the cut update. So I think I can stop recording.